So, good new... I don't know what the hell I was trying to say there. What I was trying to say was, Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2017 now, and I'm going to start this year by actually covering the next part of JoJo, part 5 being chapters 9 and 10. Yes, I'm only covering 2 chapters this stream, because this arc is very small, and I thought to myself, you know what can I do to actually kind of make this kind of whole entire thing flow a little bit better? How about I actually cover an arc of streams? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover an arc of stream, and that gives me enough content, and everyone else enough content, I think. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So today's one is only 2 chapters long. So yeah, I was kind of surprised when I read it. I was like, huh, only 2 chapters. Anyhow, let's actually go back over to my... Whoa, hello. Okay, we're good to go. We're good. I was checking whether or not YouTube was actually working, and YouTube is very much working. Just, you don't have to actually kind of constantly check these things, otherwise stuff tends to go wrong. More often than not. And hopefully, because now I've changed the actual cabling around, maybe this mic will not actually do what it does normally and kind of go out of control. Which happens regularly for no understandable reason, because apparently I think the mic might be a little bit busted, I think. I did drop it once before, so maybe that might be the reason why. I have no idea, but one can only hope it doesn't actually happen again. But yes, so we're on to chapter 9 of part 5, and I have no idea what's going to happen next, but all I can imagine is probably our good old friend John was going to go and take down the mob boss, or the gang boss, and actually overtake the whole entire city and actually make it his, because that is his proclamation towards good old Bruno. So yeah, it seems interesting, I must say. It's kind of one of those things I'm like, okay, so it's a massive proclamation, to say the word properly, when you think about it. So what can actually happen? What will happen? Will he be able to take down the gang boss and actually then overtake the city? I don't know. Let's actually kind of find out. So yes, I think we are actually covering the right one. We are covering the right one. I was going to say just in case I was covering the wrong one. But no, covering the right one. Let's actually refresh YouTube just to see whether or not everything is truly working. Yes, everything is truly working. So yes, it's only about 20 pages. Bad Reno says, and please use keyframe frequency for 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which is causing buffering. The current keyframe is 0.83 seconds. Note that the indigestion. I don't know what that is. YouTube's telling me things I don't know. I should probably have to go and figure it out one day. Okay, anyhow. Enough of YouTube probably destroying itself, because normally it does sometimes. Let's actually get on with this. Watch is going off again. Ah, cool. There's nothing, don't worry. Anyhow, let us go on. And I'm actually on the wrong goddamn tab again. Ah, this all the time. Why does it always happen to me? So yes, I think we left the actual manga with Bruno's like, "What the f did you just say to me?" So let's start. Really weird kind of. I know, actually, I think that this panel on the other side is actually the end of the original kind of normal like scans. So I think they might have just switched them around. I'm not too sure, because I read the original. What was it? The original black and white scans, and Sticky Fingers appears on that one, and he doesn't appear at the end of this one, so I think they must have put him on this one, I'm guessing. That's probably the case. Anyhow, I'll ask you one more time. You're saying that you're seriously going to enter into our gang. Meet the gang behind the wall, part 1. Yes, to take control of the city, I have to enter into the organization that is currently in control and work my way up. I'm going to become a gangster. Which is actually a pretty freaking cool thing, I must say. It's actually, when you think about it, an actually interesting way to actually take the plot in JoJo, because I didn't expect it, but I'm actually kind of liking how it's all playing out, because this is acting very different to what I'm used to when it comes to JoJo, because 9 out of 10 times we get antagonists which you've got to take down. That's basically the main kind of thing. But this one we have a clear like kind of goal for Giorno, who wants to kind of take out what's going on in the city, and take control of it and actually destroy it. So it's actually a pretty interesting thing. So I do kind of want to see where it all kind of goes towards. Whether or not you actually will realise this story, and whether or not something will happen in between that actually might come through. Because again, 9 out of 10 times we're not ever shown the antagonist straight away. It's one of those things that tends to happen quite later on into the actual kind of manga or the anime. I mean, I think we got Kira episode 11 in part 4, I believe. That's where we first saw Kira. I think we saw the Dwang Man in episode 11. So yeah, it's not technically showing us straight away. So it actually might be an antagonist, but we actually have a goal for our protagonist right now. So actually, it's actually pretty freaking alright. We actually have something different. We're not kind of, it's not aimless. That's the major thing. That kind of know it. It's not aimless. It's not just kind of going from stand user to stand user every single goddamn chapter. No, we have a clear goal for our protagonist. Plus, at one point, I'm guessing antagonists will be introduced, which will then kind of be that fork in the road. So, good job there. Hopefully, the microphone's actually not going wrong. So there is a keyframe problem then. Why is there a keyframe problem this time? There never has been before. Huh. That's weird. It's not awful. Like, it's not like kind of I stop and then I say my words. But it's kind of noticeable very slightly. I've got to fix that after the stream ends and know what's going on with that. It's really weird. Ingestion settings on YouTube is bloody freaking awful sometimes when it comes to these kind of things. Because I just don't know. That's what I aspire to be. Oh god. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thanks. I also kind of think that maybe when you think about it, Giorno might just be a good person for this kind of role as well, because the way he reads people and everything else in between, he actually might be suited for this kind of lifestyle. I'm not too sure, but that's how I kind of see it as well. But you never know. That's a major thing. You never know. Anyhow, alright. I'll say that I couldn't find the one who did Luca in, and I'll inform the others about you so that you can enter into the organization. But if anyone finds out that you were the one that attacked Luca, or that you're planning on defeating our boss, I won't help you. No one will help a traitor. You will have to pay for your own mistakes. But besides those things, for that honourable determination that you showed when you injured your own arm, and your dream which is worth its weight in gold, I'll take my chances on you, Giorno Giovanna. Yeah, it's kind of a major thing. He has a clear aspiration, which actually is kind of can't think of the word. I can't think of the word in English right now. What's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of admirable. That's the one I'm looking for, because again, where he's come from, you didn't expect him to be this way, which is actually kind of neat, because I expected him to be this kind of asshole, everything else in between, but he really isn't. He's actually kind of alright. He's actually a pretty cool lad. He has a clear aspiration, and everything else in between. He's actually not what you expect him to be. He's not anyone like Dio was, which actually is kind of neat, because you can really just see it's more Jonathan than Dio, but Dio is still there. That's the major thing we kind of get from his character. Our organization is called Passione. It consists of 756 members and is currently in control of Naples Hotel, the ports, transport, terry industry, construction companies, funeral services, and restaurants. We reap a huge profit from gambling and drug trafficking as well. This sounds like a really serious kind of organization. Passione is the word for passion. It's not our boss name. No one knows our boss name, and of course no one has seen him or his face. Even I haven't met him. He gives his orders through several leaders that are under him. So Giorno, the one who's going to determine if you're in or not, is a man named Polpo, who gives me my orders. He's inside this building. You say this building, but this is a prison. Legit. Hello! It's pretty legit. It's a pretty legit building. It looks like a prison, actually. That's right, it's a prison. Polpo's in here. He was found guilty of a crime, so he won't be coming out for another 15 years. But he still gives me orders from inside that building, and still holds power in the gang. Of course, if he wanted to, he could leave any time he wanted. He could even have been found innocent, but Polpo didn't do either of those things because he has no reason to leave. Apologies for that word. Didn't say it wrong. Why? You understand when you meet him. Hello, how's it going? Hope you had a good new year and everything else in between. I think that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm really trying to say is Happy New Year. Hope you had a great kind of New Year's Eve. I think is New Year's Eve because today's New Year's Day. They always will confuse me. So yeah, hopefully you had a good New Year's Eve and everything else in between, and hopefully we will have a good year ahead of us as well. Because one can only hope. But yes. Okay, Giovanna, you're going to have to pass his interview now. Everything will start after you pass. It's like any other job. You have to be inspected before you're off the position. What kind of examination he's going to give is... Wait, what? What kind of examination he's going to give is up to him, but... Okay, that was kind of similar to an extent. I was actually watching Days of Confused last night, so that's how I spent my New Year's. Make sure you're not found out. I think I read that wrong or read it correctly. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I was basically watching Days of Confused with my brother until like 3 in the morning, while kind of just eating tortilla chips and drinking Mountain Dew. Basically, yeah, I spent most of my New Year's. Before that, I was basically just looking at pictures of Yuri and Ice to kind of quell my heart for the fact it's actually ended. So yeah, it's actually pretty alright, New Year's. It's the usual. Anyhow. Oh yes, I forgot to ask you. Stand ability. That's what you're called. That's what you called it. Yes. How did you develop yours? Your ability. I forgot to ask, but are there others? You'll find out too when you see him, if you pass. Ooh. Been on the wrong... Oh, no. Apparently not. I thought it was on the wrong tab. Luggage, wristwatches, anything you have in your pockets. Please deposit those things in this tray on the desk and then proceed for the body check, please. Look at them posing. Look at those poses. Through those gates is where prisoner number 28, Polpo, is incarcerated. Please proceed straight down the hallway. You'll be separated by a thick wall of bulletproof glass, but you'll still be able to speak to him. There is no danger of the glass breaking, but you're still prohibited from touching it. You're also prohibited from receiving items or handing items to prisoner. You have 15 minutes. Once you go through the gates will close, but if anything happens, give us a shout. I'm going directly to his cell. Not a visiting room. You never met him before. Wow. This is crazy. Is it mic working again? Yeah, of course working. Just making sure. Otherwise I don't really want to kind of go through a stream and the mic's just like, no, I ain't working, son. So even you have to kind of admire the fact that even when there's no writing, just the visuals do all the talking as well. Araki's a god. He literally is. He's an immortal being. Are you injured? That left arm. Huh. Is he completely? Is he laying on that bed, or is he completely flat? I'm not too sure. Do I really want to know? Is the question. Holy Christ! What is that? That wasn't a bed. That left arm, is it injured? Only your right hand has faint red lines from where you must have grip something. Lines that suggest you are holding a bag. That must mean that you were holding the bag with only your right hand. For what reason? Oh, this is an interrogation and a half. Well, yes, you're right. I was holding my bag with only my right hand because I injured my left arm. I'm envious you're still able to be so reckless with yourself. Do you want something to drink? How about some wine? I have an excellent Shanti Classico. Or go wonderful with some roasted cheese and caviar on a cracker. Am I getting the impression there's some kind of like connotation? Wait, hold on a second here. I don't know. I'm kind of getting some Hannibal vibes. Not in the sense he might start eating someone, but just because of how it's all presented. I know Rocky tends to kind of divulge in some like movie referencing, but it kind of has that about it. The way that Polpo kind of speaks, it kind of evokes it in some certain way. Which is kind of weird. I was told that I can't hand anything over, nor can I receive anything. Did I miss anything? Nope, cool, didn't miss anything. They say that for practical purposes, humans often say and do different things. That's the beauty of humans through it can just as often be the ugly side of them. The only thing in this prison that I think I actually lack is let's see, that I can't see Michelangelo's paintings on the wall of the Sistine Chapel. Maybe I have some Van Goghs and dang it, there we go again. Gaines, though. Polpo. It's not that he doesn't need to leave the prison. It makes no difference whether he's here or somewhere else. And besides, with that body, maybe it's safer for him to be in prison. It's more baffling to me to think of how he managed to pass through the door in the first place. It's a valid point. I heard about you from Butch. Is it Bulsel? I know it's a different way of pronouncing it now. I pronounce it Buccelleti, and it's not. It's actually with a Z apparently. So it's like Bulcelletti, something like that. Come on, Bruno. So you want to enter into the gang? Is that right? Gion or Giovanna was it? Well, let's start with the entrance examination then. Huh. Oh Christ, we're on the next chapter. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Meet the gangster. They meet the gang behind the wall. Gangster behind the wall. Do apologise if I haven't said that wrong originally. He has quite a lifestyle, doesn't he? Good old Polpo. Polpo is actually a squid. Was that just now a trick of the eye? For a split second, it looked like he ate his fingers along with the cracker. No, it can't be. That this Polpo is a stand user like Buccelleti. And was that his ability just now? But I can't let Polpo catch on that I just saw what I saw. When one has to choose from a list of candidates, what do you think is the most important quality to note, Gion or Giovanna? What do you think? What do you find more important? What they can do, perhaps? And what could you do, Giorno? Holy cow, look at those magic tricks. He is straight up shafting the business there. During the body check, I just borrowed this from the guards woman. I thought I could use it for your test. Of course, I'll return it to her as I'm leaving. Ho ho ha ha ha. Besides that, as for other talents, I can't think of anything special. Oh, and I can also stuff my ear in my ear hole. Foo 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 ho 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 brah ha ha ha. That's quite interesting, yes. But there's another element that's equally as important. And that's trust, Giovanna or Giovanna. When one has to choose from a list of candidates, the most important element to note is trust. Compared to trust, someone being smart or talented is significant as the piece of chewed up cracker scum between my teeth. This test is about measuring your trustworthiness using this lighter flame. Take it and don't let the flame die. I must say, it's actually a pretty good arc because I always kind of respected the kind of smaller arcs in JoJo after Part 3, because in Part 3 they were right, but Part 4, the kind of smaller arcs in between were actually freaking fantastic. They actually weren't too bad. They were kind of as good as the kind of, I would say, longer arcs of JoJo. So actually not too bad. I must say, it's actually a pretty good thing so far. I must say, Polpo was pretty terrifying as well, to say the goddamn least. Like, as time goes on, these people do get terrifying. Like, Araki knows how to kind of terrify you instantly. I mean, Part 4 had so many goddamn good shorter arcs. It was amazing. Whoa, be careful not to let the light go out. A 17th century historian by the name of Fuller once said, He's my friend that speaks well of me behind my back. For the 24 hours, you are to guard that lighter without letting the flame go out. To enter the organization, you have to be able to prove a trustworthiness even when others aren't looking. If you do that, I'll accept you into the gang. Isn't it simple? The lighter has plenty of gas. All you have to do is sit in your room and quietly make sure that the lighter doesn't go out until tomorrow at 3 p.m. If you have determination and the patience, the flame shouldn't die, and it'll be proof that you are worthy of my trust. But if you're taking me and this challenge lightly, you'll probably fall asleep or sneeze or let the passing breeze blow through. In short, you allow a number of careless actions to occur which will blow the flame out. And that would prove to me that you're untrustworthy. This is the initiation test. Now take the lighter in your hands. Even the lighter's amazing. Look how detailed it is. Look at it. It's detailed. It's bloody amazing. It's good. Now starts Giovanna's adventure to actually not allow that flame to go out. Remember, 24 hours, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'll be waiting eagerly for you to come and visit me again. Still kind of getting those Hannibal vibes. Don't know why. I'm kind of getting subtle Hannibal vibes. Just because I'm guessing it's because of the prison itself, the setting itself, and the way it kind of just says, "Oh, he's in front of this plane of bulletproof glass." I was like, yeah, I'm kind of getting those vibes slightly, which isn't too bad because Hannibal is an amazing film series. Silence of the Lambs is like a perfect film, so it's alright. 24 hours. Once passing the gate, the visitor will stand by another body check. Once you receive permission to leave the premises, please proceed to the adjoining room and retire your personal belongings. No. Wait a second, another body check? Hasn't Polpo told you anything? What? We will conduct the body check now. Is there another This is another reminder that you'll be forbidden to receive anything from the prisoner. Oh yeah, I get it, because he's not allowed to receive anything from him, but he hasn't he, technically? So technically he's kind of broken the thing. He's done the one thing he shouldn't have done. What? Shoot. I thought that Polpo brought these guards to ensure that I would be able to leave this prison with a lighter. Visitor, raise both of your hands and proceed towards me. Oh snap! If they find a lighter in the body check, if they find this lighter in the body check, guarding its flame will be the last thing I'll be able to do. So that means that Polpo's test has already begun. But I have to do it. I have to pass this test. No matter what, I have to enter the gang organization Passione. I have to hide the flame in this blind spot that I make with my hands, just like I did with the ID. Ooh, snap! His hand must be like going ah, like secretly inside his brain's going ah. Why are you doing this to me now? My hand is burning. Quick, just do it. Just get it over with. It's probably what's going through his brain right now. But Giovanna doesn't give up. Okay, you're all clear. You may leave the room. Even though there's like this subtle bit of smoke coming out of his hand. Like, yeah, nothing going on there. However, please open your hands as well. Oh! I'll ask you one more time. Show me your hands. I need to check them. Oh. Flower. Ah, he got him. So, and it just turns back into a flame. It's like, it's like, what? It's like trickery of the hands. Straightforward shafting. A flower? Well, it's just another flower. Since it's harmless, I let it pass. You are permitted to leave the premises. I turned the lighter into a flower, hiding the flame between the petals. That was a close call, but this flame could it be that it's Polpo's standability? That's true, actually. Huh, so we finished the first arc, so I could in theory go a little bit further into it. I could in theory, how long are we on to? We're on 26 minutes. We're kind of not, I would say, at the adequate time to actually kind of give up just yet. So I could in theory go to 51. I could in theory just go 2 more chapters in, so yeah, why not, let's do it. Go 2 more chapters in. I wanted to cover only 2 chapters this stream, but it seems better if I cover a little bit more. Because otherwise people will be like, "Well, aren't you covering a lot, Joe, today? It's New Year's Day. Give me some of that good stuff." Alright, cool. I will. Don't worry. Yeah, the mic's still working. We're good. We're good. Everything is hunky freaking. Don't worry. We're good to go. All right. So we're on chapter 450 now. We're on to the actual kind of 0 number. Well, freaking hell. All right. It's Entering the Gang Part 1. It'd be kind of wacky if the whole entirety of this arc plays out with just him with a flame in his hand. Like it's just 8 chapters of a flame in his hand. He's going, okay, I need to keep this flame alive, but freaking Stan abilities, yo, they're everywhere. Like Stan users, fracking everywhere. Can't go 10 seconds without seeing a Stan user. And it's just him with the flame in his hand trying to keep it going. It's gonna be freaking hard. Alright, I think I might miss something. Naples middle school dorms. The wind isn't safe. The wind. This arc seems really interesting so far. Like I'm not even into the chapter yet. I'm kind of like, this is gonna be an interesting arc to say the goddamn least. Hey Giorno, nice timing. Can you just press the button and take the picture? No, thank you. Oh, sorry, but can you open this door for me? The bucket of water is going to spill. Can I do it tomorrow? Oh, these shenanigans. I can imagine cool stuff is going to happen. It always does. I don't think there's ever been one arc in JoJo that hasn't had cool stuff happening. I think. Even when that one with the rat was interesting. It was a rat. Like, it was a rat stand user. Which was bloody interesting to say the goddamn least. I'm finally back in my own dorm room. Phew, 23 hours to go. Ah, well, the flame's kind of gone out, hasn't it? Oh, no, it's fine. Too close. Did you just... Well, that's legit. That is goddamn legit. And the lighter inside some bread. Now that... Because I can say my words. Now that is interesting. And that is freaking top tier. Now that the lighter won't fall over, and even if the air in the room moves around and a bit, the flame will be guarded. Now all I have to do is what Polpo said. Keep an eye on it for the next 23 hours until tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Right, just in case, to prevent the sun and winds from blowing open, I'll lock the windows. Yeah, 23 hours, though. That's the problem. Can you keep a flame going for 23 hours? Because what happens if the thing runs out in, like, I don't know, the very last hour? Like, I don't, like, it's like, yeah, only 1 hour to go, and then the flame actually just goes out because there's nothing left inside the lighter itself. Kind of like, what? It's like, and then this whole world just comes crashing down. It's like, well, mate, you didn't give me a lighter that had enough fluid inside, so what could I do? Crackle, 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 crackle. Oh my god, it's the man himself. It's the Koichi. It's a shaft magnet. Oh! What? Who would just open the door without knocking first? Super Saiyan Man? That's who. He's... It looks like he's out. This is my chance. It's a Japanese boy again. His name was Koichi Hirose. That's it. How did he know I live here? It looks like my suitcase and my luggage are gone, but my passport might still be around. It must be difficult to get rid of identification documents like passports. They told me that I'd take it'd take at least a week or two to reissue my passport, and it'll only be a temporary passport to get me back to Japan. So that means I won't be able to leave this city for the rest of my trip. If I don't get my passport back, my vacation will be ruined. Even though sneaking into other people's room does make me look like a thief. Wait, no, he's a thief. What's wrong with me looking for something that's mine? It's got a point. It's got a point. His passport. So in case anyone's confused, I'm actually gone beyond what Miles actually meant to actually kind of cover today, because I thought to myself, you know what? Let's go a little bit further. So yeah, we're going to about chapter, I think, chapter 12, I'd say. This is bad. At this rate, Koichi will start looking around in my desk drawers. It's true that I haven't disposed of his passport yet. It's inside one of my file cabinets on my desk, because I intend to give it back to him. This means Koichi will see the lighter on my desk. What would Koichi think if he sees a lighter resting on top of a piece of bread? Would he think nothing of it? He'd probably be like, what the F is... Why is there a piece of bread with a lighter in it? Like, why? What is this? Like, is this real life? Definitely not. He would just extinguish the flames, since it would be disastrous if a fire started up. What do I do? What should I do? I have to retrieve the lighter before Koichi sees the flame. Oh, he's in gold. Oh, he's in gold experience. Murder. I love that the translation still used the word murder as well. It makes me so happy. It keeps the Dio alive, very much so. Snake. Ooh. It's because in JoJo you had to think of the most out of the box thing. Well, say my words properly. In JoJo, you've got to think of the most out of the box thing to actually get stuff done. So putting a light inside bread's not a bad idea, because it kind of doesn't make it so it falls over. So when you think about it, it's not too bad, because yeah, it's not going to fall over anytime soon, and it's kind of protected. So give him props. I give him props for that. It's legit. It's a major thing. It's like the most legit thing ever. He's got experience to give life to the wiring and turn it into a snake. That's an especially good loaf of bread. The snake's gotten a good hold of it, and since snakes swallow their food slowly, that piece of bread isn't going anywhere anytime soon. What I have to do is pull it up along with the cord. Oh, the snake just got burnt by the flame. Of course. Classic JoJo. It's classic JoJo. It never goes to plan straight away. It never goes to plan. This can't be happening. He's found a lighter. This isn't good. So be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe people have lighters inside bread. It's not kind of uncustom. I'm gonna let it pass. You never know. Koichi just be like, it's alright. It's alright. I have to prevent him from blowing out the flame. Oh, he actually found the passport. That symbol. That's a Japanese passport symbol. Ah, it's burning. It's burning. Here it is. I found my passport. Huh? That's weird. I thought I saw a lit lighter. Oh god, he's gone and mucked it up, hasn't he? He's done goofed it. He's mucked it all up. That was close. He would have extinguished the flame hadn't I not done anything. Okay, no, he went and actually kind of fixed it himself. It's fine, don't worry. Giovanna didn't actually muck it up. Didn't get mucked up at all. I, Giovanna, have a dream and I'll take the first steps. Whoop. Knackle. Knackle's damn. No! No! Don't be doing this to me. There we go. That was close. He would have extinguished the flame had I not done anything. I, Giovanna, have a dream and I'll take the first steps towards it. I want to protect this flame no matter what. Be careful. I'm sorry, as you can see, I'm cleaning the stairs right now. That must... that must not be intentional, mustn't it? Like, that can't be intentional. That's a Rocky being funny. It's a Rocky being funny. You got splashed a bit, but I'm glad you didn't get entirely soaked and the flame's gone out. You know what? I think that's a good stopping place for today. I think that might be the best place to stop, just to kind of not go further, because we got ourselves a good cliffhanger. We're kind of getting a basis for what's going to happen next. Koichi's got his passport back. We're good to go. Everything is fine. But okay, it's probably gone a bit crazy. Can't actually see it. No, I'm fine. I'm good. Don't have to actually kind of do my what I'm gonna watch for next season video today as well. Actually, speaking of the devil, so yeah. That arc was pretty freaking interesting, I must say. I quite like how it played out. It's kind of one of the more interesting, I would say, shorter arcs we've gotten. Like, I don't think we've actually got a shorter arc, but a shorter arc. But still, as I said before, as I said in my stream, I'll echo this idea completely. I quite like the shorter arcs that JoJo actually has now, opposed to what they had before, because before the kind of smaller arcs in JoJo were kind of a bit they were just a stand user, there weren't anything more than that. There were kind of some other things sprinkled in here and there, but there wasn't anything more than that. As part 4 kind of came along, they kind of improved them slightly. I mean, Araki kind of got a basis for what his writing styles would become, and actually then just gave us something really freaking good. So the actual shorter arcs we got were actually so freaking great. So it's actually for me, it's one of the more memorable parts of JoJo Part 4 was the shorter arcs we got. And I think it's going to be echoed a lot more in this part as well, because, I mean, that short arc we got, that was interesting. That was kind of scary as well. Excuse me, I must say. Polpo was kind of like, yeah, I mean, Polpo's kind of looking a bit like, not too sure. Like he's kind of got something going on behind closed doors. There isn't anything telling me otherwise. Like, there's more to him that we're getting right now, and I quite like it, because his appearance kind of gives us the idea that maybe he might be his formidable foe. He might be this person that's really freaking strong, someone who actually might be able to take down Giorno. I'm not freaking sure, but I think maybe just as time goes on, we'll be seeing more of him. I think as Giorno might be theorizing, it might be true. In essence, maybe that flame might be his stand ability. We're not too sure what would happen if that flame goes out. Does he actually realize straight away? We don't know. It's major things. The other parts were more like a stand of the week, like in part 3. Yeah. Polpo's rocking that pinhead style, so you already know he's up to no good straight up. It's true. I mean, as soon as they kind of mentioned, okay, yeah, you're gonna go into this place, he's gonna be behind bulletproof glass, which is kind of, and in fact, he's literally chopping up. True. I mean, he was behind bulletproof glass. You just know at that point you don't mess with the dude. You just don't go down that road. You just don't go down, take that t-shirt and go home, because you might be messed up slightly. Because he looks pretty terrifying. The way he was kind of explaining his things, it wasn't changing anything. His mannerisms, his speech, it kind of amplified his scariness. Like, he's one of those guys that if he had no words, if no words were spoken with him, he would still be terrifying. Just visuals alone, you're like, yeah, get out of it. Like, get behind that wall and never show your face ever again, boy, because you're terrifying me. Like, that's the kind of, like, aurora that Polpo gives. That's what I quite like. Like, I don't think I've seen someone like him before in JoJo, so I'm actually kind of interested to see what he will do, what he possesses, what he would actually do to Giorno if Giorno actually, like, does something wrong. I don't freaking want to know, because when he started speaking, it kind of just brought back those vibes of Hannibal Lecter, because, not in the sense, as I said before, he's going to eat someone, but just the way he kind of spoke, the way he kind of moved around, the way he commanded the scene, it kind of reminded me of that slightly. Because if you've watched Silence of the Lambs, you watched, I don't know, Red Dragon, you watched Manhunter, you kind of... He's also like classic art in prison, watch out. True as well, classic art always kind of gives an indication of run away. Like, if you ever watch those films, you kind of would see the comparisons and the similarities there, because it kind of gives that vibe. Because you just know, if he's behind a pane of glass, which is about 3 millimeters thick, he's probably a bit of a terrifying bloke. Like, maybe as John says, that he is better behind those pane of glass, because you just don't know what he would do if he's actually on the outside wall. We just don't know. Though it does kind of lead to a more interesting outlook if that was the case. What would happen if he actually were to get out? What would he do? Because he does have that thing about him that he would be pretty freaking interesting to see what he would do. Like, we don't know the full picture right now. That's the major thing. It's not kind of specifically shown to us the full picture of Polpo's character. Like, everything is still shrouded in mystery. We don't technically know everything about him, which is more interesting, because if you just showed us everything straight away, then it kind of would lead to it being a bit Like, we know everything about him, so what's the point in actually kind of knowing anything more? If we just get to the right end of the arc, we'll probably get everything we need. It's not showing us, kind of puts us in this area of wanting to know more. And I do want to see what he does. I want to see what Polpo would do, because hopefully he does get, like, kind of a recurring role. I'm guessing he will, because he is the gang leader, and also, as well, I guess John has to take him down, so we don't know. It might be one of those cases, it might just turn into one of those things, like in like a final boss kind of thing in a video game. Like, I don't know, he actually might have a different version of himself that might just come out like randomly, and then he might just start like taking everyone down. We're not too sure. He might grow even bigger than we actually seen right now. We're not too sure. I don't know, because like I've seen it before. These kind of characters, they technically have a lot more going on than we actually aptly imagine first, which actually is the interesting thing. I quite like it. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it's a short arc. We got enough. It was meaty. It was kind of short. It was only, I don't know, 40 pages, I think, if you count the actual original, like, kind of what's it called, scans of it. It's about 20 pages for the colour, but 40 pages the other one. You get enough content to actually kind of say it's a serviceable arc. It kind of has enough intrigue to actually go forward, to actually want you to see what happens next, what happens to our characters, what would happen if Bruno, what's going to happen to Bruno, what's he going to do next, we don't know. Is Zipperman going to appear? Don't know. Like, it has enough. That's what I quite like about it. Rocky kind of has his style nailed, that he gives you enough to actually go forward. He doesn't actually kind of just beat around the bush. Everything he writes, it has enough content within it. That's what I quite like about it now. I quite like how he's going about writing his things. It's not just, here's an arc, and he kind of sitting there going, well, freaking hell, what the hell was that? Like, I would put an example, everything after Aizen's arc in Bleach. Like, everything after Aizen's arc in Bleach, he kind of sat there and went, what the hell was that? Like, it wasn't as good as the original. But this one, it grows better and better and better as time goes on, and each character just kind of amplifies his idea. Like, every single character that's been introduced to the arc so far, all have something which will impact the world itself, which you would like to see. I mean, Bruno seems really freaking interesting. Giorno seems interesting enough. I like how Koichi is still present in the manga itself, because, again, Koichi's an interesting character. So how he's going about this world is actually interesting itself. And then you have Polpo as well. What's he going to do next? Those are the major things. That's the kind of cream of the crop, as they would say. So yeah, quite like it. I quite like how it's all playing out, and the fact that he has to kind of hold this flame for 24 hours is kind of one of those things that it would prove your trustworthiness. If you keep that flame going, it knows that you're not careless. You won't do anything stupid to the person. That's what I quite like, because you could in theory do a test of trustworthiness by anything, but using a flame is kind of the best way to actually kind of go about it, because you're showing the person the more. You're not just showing you're trustworthy, you're showing that you won't do anything stupid in a very, 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 very kind of short space of time. In essence, as he says, like, I want you to prove to me that you won't do anything stupid, because, again, I need to know that you are trustworthy, because you could in theory do anything at any point that's careless and actually get the flame kind of just taken out completely. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a different way of going about it, but it's the best way of going about it, because it gives you more insight to the character itself, because we're getting more insight through these actions about Giorno and how he actually kind of takes on this task, and how he actually kind of then as well proves to us his actual kind of life goals as well, because he's very determined. Determination's very much there. It's one of the major things about Giorno's character. His determination's amazing. I love it. So I want to see it. I want to see it kind of come out. I want to see it go forward. I want his determination to always be there. If it kind of goes out, it's like the flame. Once the flame goes out, his determination's gone, because he can't ever get into that gang now. So what can he do? So the flame really much becomes a character within its own. You get what I mean? If that explanation made any sense. Hopefully it did. But yeah, I think it's pretty freaking neat. I do like it. I want to see how it all just plays out. So yes, with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. Sorry, this actual stream's been a little bit shorter. I think it's about half the time I did last time? I'm not too sure, but anyway. Next stream will probably be about 6 chapters long, I think. 7 chapters? Not too sure. Anyhow, so if you have enjoyed this stream as a whole, and you do leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here, and you want to leave a sub, then do leave a sub, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit. But until, I'm guessing about half an hour with the actual kind of thingamajig with the, what I will watch in, is it winter? I think it's winter now. I'm not too sure. For me, it's winter until, like, March, so, like, every other single, like, kind of, everyone does it by seasons, so it's like, I think fall is from, like, September to December, but I think for us it's confusing. That's why I get confused sometimes. But I think it's winter next, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna do that video next, so if you want to stick around for that, then do stick around for that, because that will be coming. I can't speak anymore. I'm reiterate what I just said. If you want to stick around for that, then do please, because it's actually going to be a freaking interesting ride to see what's going to happen next season, because by the looks of it looks pretty naff, to say the goddamn least. So yes, until then, I shall see you guys later. Bye for now.